Five fascinating things associated with the night. Number 5. Astronomy. Polaris is the North Star. Most people know this, but what they may not know is that, due to a process known as precession, it wasn't always the North Star. As recently as 12,000 BCE, it was Vega, and sometime around the year 5200, it will be a totally different star. The night sky, as you look at it at any given moment, is always changing, and though the changes are sometimes imperceptible to Earth-based observers, the sky will never be exactly the same again as that point in time at which you just observed it. Number 4. Mythology. Not only do the commonly known constellation patterns represent people, animals and objects that are familiar to us, Taurus the bull, for example, but they also have mythological stories associated with them. One example is Aries, which represents the ram of the Jason and the Argonauts story. Bonus fact, Aries was made the first constellation in the zodiac because it was formerly tied to the vernal equinox. This is no longer the case, due to precession, but Aries remains the first symbol. Number 3. Geography. Though the word has fallen into disuse, numerous people have a set of periocines and don't even realize it. Periocines are people who live on the same geographical parallel, but at opposite meridians, so that when one of them has noonday, the other has midnight. A volume from 1826 gives the antiquated formula for finding the periocene, and here's a site that will roughly tell you who has midnight when you have midday. Note that not all of us have a periocene. Due to the distribution of land mass, some live opposite an ocean. Number 2. Festivity. There are many holidays that are specifically based on the night time: Christmas Eve, Halloween, New Year's Eve, etc. In some European cultures, there is also a festival called Walpurgisnacht, which is held the evening before May Day, May 1st. Though the origin of the festival was as a spring festival dedicated to Saint Walpurga, it has various connotations in different cultures, including one as a night during which witches and their gods party together. Celebrations include bonfires, dancing, drinking, and revelry. Number 1. Chronology. When is night not night? When it's broad daylight. Well, technically it's still night. Of course, the phenomenon of white nights is when the sun remains visible at midnight, and this occurs more frequently the closer an observer gets to either of the poles. There is an opposite phenomenon called polar night, during which the sun never rises for an entire day.